Larry and Sheila got married 4 months ago, but Sheila says she had no idea she was getting hitched to a hoarder. Now, Larry says, no, that's not right. There's a reason he has 110 hats, 54 coats, 7 fish tanks, 7 desks, thousands of tools, and Daisy Duke shorts from the 70s. And he'd like her to explain why it was okay for her to move in her porcelain cow collection, bell collection, spoon collection, and lawn ornament duck who has a wardrobe. Take a look.
Larry has 6 or 7 of everything because he's a hoarder, and that's what hoarders do.
My wife, Sheila, is the hoarder, and I can prove it.
He must have 40 coats.
16 in here, plus the ones that are in the garage.
Yes, I have a lot of coats, but I did not purchase them all for me.
Look at all the hats we have.
This hat here is my favorite hat. Snake skin was from my pet snake.
There's hats over there, hats over here. Who wears them? I don't know.
It's air-cooled. When we got married, we loaded a 26-foot truck from Indiana to this house.
Of course, there's still like a half a truck left in Indiana, but we'll get there one day.
Sheila moved in a custom coffee table, French provincial dining room set.
Mine was custom made, his was custom wrapped.
I'm losing space for my personal possessions for a duck.
The duck's outfits are not cluttered. They're in a small container.
I have given up some of my pets. I have given up my treasures since my wife moved in, to the point that they are boxed up in the garage, like my plants scattered in the outside patio.
Larry was annoyed because he could not understand why real plants go outside and artificial plants come in.
They're fake flowers. They're plastic.
When I first got here, it was get that crap out of here and back in the garage. When I walked out into the backyard, the music to Sanford & Son started playing in my head.
Sink top, a wash machine, wood piles, another wood pile.
I think oak is a guy thing.
Oak is a good, strong, stable wood.
Oak dresser, oak nightstand, oak chairs, toilet seat, an ant farm. And it's oak.
My wife collects bells, dolls, spoons, porcelain cows, little figurines. I have given up much more than she has.
Everything I have is contained in one china cabinet.
But we have another china cabinet where you have other collections also.
Yes. I would love for DrPhil to convince Larry some of this needs to go. No, maybe most of it needs to go.
So let's bring out the stuff. Okay, what are we talking about here? Y'all live in warm climate, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay. You've got, oh my God. After the show, we're going to have a garage sale. Right here. Now, seriously, you've got 54 coats over here. What's the average temperature where you live?
Some are jackets, some are vests.
Isn't the average temperature where you live in the 70s?
Yes.
Yes.
And you've got a nice hat collection. Y'all don't have room for all this stuff.
Well, most of the hats were in a box. Well, I used to have them displayed on the wall above the headboard, but Sheila didn't like that when she come to visit.
You have 3 sinks in the backyard. None of them are hooked up.
Well, no, well, 2 of them are for the kitchen that I was going to replace, and 1 was for the bathroom, of which I did cut half of that display and used it in the spare bedroom. Or spare bathroom.
Blah, 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 blah. Now, come on. I mean, it looks... Don't your neighbors complain?
No, I keep it well hidden.
Why do you really want that stuff?
Well, they're projects. They're things that I was... eventually going to get to or work on.
Look, here's the deal. You need to give up.
I have given up my entire house. I don't have 1 room, not even the garage.
You know what he told our producer when he was talking to him? He said, I don't want to go on the show and ask her to give anything up. Because if I do, she's going to say, I will if you will, and I got more crap than she does, and I can't afford to do it. No. Now, she didn't bring a list, but I did. You've got 7 space heaters, 7 desks, 200 oak frames, a love seat. You got sofa with holes in it, springs missing, 7 unused fish tanks, 10 TVs. You've got boxes of sunglasses. Not the glasses, just the boxes in some of them. You got 8-track tapes, you got reel-to-reel tapes, books you've never read, and 7 desks, God knows how many cork boards, leisure suits. I mean, the whole reason that I'm talking about this, I know you guys have a good relationship, and I know you're having a ball, but I do want to use it as an example to say to people, it really is about a negotiation. And here's what I want to do to try to guilt-induce/motivate you. All of those coats over there that are stacked up that you haven't worn and won't wear, there's 54 of them over there. There were 54 people on the streets this winter that would have loved to have had one of those coats. But so much of the stuff that you have, if you really got together and got the right spirit, you could donate it and give it away, like, you know, the coats, the hats, even the sinks and ladders, people that are working in shelters downtown that could so use that stuff, and it could go to great value, and then you could actually park a car. You could actually see grass in your backyard. You could actually walk out there and snuggle with your wife. You could...
I have no problem snuggling with my wife.
Okay. So just think about that, will you? I mean, you can really put some of that stuff to good use and have some fun doing it. And I promise you, it feels really good when you know that things that are just laying there might have kept somebody warm at night or been something that somebody could use or sell for money for food for some of the shelters and children that need the help. Will you all think about that? Mike says that his wife, Laurie, hoards everything from used envelopes to empty food jars. Now, her husband is ready to take desperate measures to put a stop to this.
From the outside, our house looks great. You would never suspect. Inside is a bowl that my wife keeps dumping crap into. My wife is a hoarder. Laurie doesn't hoard certain things. Laurie hoards everything.
My husband, Mike, is a thrower. I'm a keeper. It drives him crazy.
She cannot throw anything away. Laurie keeps newspapers that are 7 or 8 years old.
What if there's a good article in there? What if there's something that I don't want to miss?
We keep lots of coupons, but they're all expired. Plastic cups from different events, menus from closed restaurants, chopsticks, plastic utensils, jellies, sugars, sweet and lows from restaurants.
If we run out of jelly, we can use it. They're free.
Burnt out light bulbs, empty medicine bottles.
Empty, 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 empty.
In the dining room, the table is usually a mound of papers.
I keep a lot of things out as visual reminders. Bills that I need to pay, something I need to file, someone I need to call, errands that I want to get to.
Old greeting cards.
I love to get mail.
Clothes that don't fit, old decrepit shoes, any plastic bag, millions of snippets and small pieces of paper.
I try to recycle. If it's a can, we can get money for that.
Laurie hoards mail. In the piles are bills that are due, but we don't pay them on time because we can't find them. This is a 5-bedroom, 3-bath home. Plenty of storage for a normal family. My wife is not normal. Our bedroom door does not open all the way because there's a pile of clothes behind it. I go into my wife's office, and you get about 8 steps in before you are stopped by a wall of stuff. The garage is hell. Piles of things that have not been touched since we've been here. Last April, my boys didn't have closets to put their clothes in. My closet was overrun. Our bedroom was overrun.
Mike makes it sound like our entire house is stacked to the ceiling. That is not true.
Laurie has one room, it's about 10 by 12, that is plugged solid from ceiling to floor, wall to wall.
My junk room, I do not consider to be a junk room. It's more of unfinished projects, and I just need more time to finish them. Daily life is laundry, dishes, making dinner. I work 2 jobs.
Are you out of control as a pack rat?
Probably.
Then what
But like the garage, did you see the garage? That's not all my stuff.
okay, let's pick out some of the things that are his and we'll throw those away.
And then that's the other thing. He threw away a perfectly good $13 bottle of vitamins. And somebody else could use them. They're brand new. Just because they weren't time released.
What are you doing with all of the empty prescription bottles?
Well, I do need to throw some of those away, but like, I want to keep one of them so that I can put it in my overnight bag, so that I can have a few in my overnight bag, and then I want to put another one upstairs so that when I go to bed, if I forget to take my pills, I can take it upstairs without having to come all the way back downstairs. And then sometimes just to keep the number, you know, when you call in to get the number, or like the oldest one to see like how long you've been taking it. Sometimes
How
you go to the
about
doctor
the
and
used
they ask.
envelopes?
Well, they're fine. You can put a label over them and mail a bill in to somebody.
No,
it costs money.
He's talking about the outer envelopes that bills and
I
things
just use them
come
for
in.
scratch paper to write notes on. Like, Mike, don't forget to take your lunch to work. And what does he do? Walks right past his lunch after I wasted all that time. How many days was he supposed to take the film in that was in his car to go to Costco to get it developed?
I don't know how many.
Over a week. Over a week. So why doesn't he remember? And then our friend was just in the hospital.
How could he find his lunch, let alone
He
the note?
does. I live right by the front door. That's the point. We need to play this clip again about walking in the front door. That part was empty.
The front door was empty?
They like showed the absolute worst.
From what I saw, I'm guessing there's probably 4 or 5 tons of what would normally be discarded stored in your house. Want to bet?
No, because then you're going to go get it in a dumpster and weigh it.
Damn right. You do acknowledge that you have a problem, or not? I'm just asking.
My house is not how I would like it to appear. How is that?
That's non-responsive. You say you keep empty jars as reminders to replace them, like I have no hand lotion here, so I need to get some.
Well, I want that certain brand. It worked really good.
But you also keep envelopes that are used that can't be used again for scratch paper.
Right, it's
so
free.
why don't you just write down on the scratch paper to get the
I
hand
do
lotion, then you can
sometimes.
throw the jar
I
away.
do sometimes.
You don't need the scratch paper and the jar. You say she takes 6 or 7-year-old newspapers with her in case she has time to read them?
When we go anywhere, it's pretty much an event, getting things together, gathering.
On a short road trip recently, you took gift cards, 8 boxes of toner for a laser jet printer, just in case.
Those were only in my car because our school recycles ink. Well, they can't recycle that brown, so our church recycles ink. So I took them to the church, but then when I took them to the church, they said that they can't recycle that brand either. So I think you can go to Staples and get $3 for each one.
Did you?
I haven't made it there yet. I had to come to see you.
You don't think this is normal?
A lot of people that I've told have said that they know people, and when you look at the obsessive compulsive website, it says like as many as 1.4 million people have obsessive compulsive hoarding.
There are 289 million people in America. So that means that out of 289 million people, 1.4 are keeping 7-year-old newspapers.
I am so embarrassed. I cannot believe that I am here on national television and that he showed all that stuff about my house.
Well, did you not know there were going to be cameras here?
I didn't want to come. The
I
only
mean,
reason
did you
I'm
think
here is
that I
because
sat here with people and had a sketch artist out there?
The only reason I'm here is because he wants a divorce.
But you don't want a divorce.
What I want is for the house to get cleaned up and for this not syndrome.
If I had a solution.
Oh, don't you?
If I had
That's like the worst of the worst. Okay, where's the good part? Where's the hallway?
You know where the good
Where's
part?
the hardwood floors? Where's the hardwood floors that you can see?
Hey, Laurie.
All right.
Where's our bedroom? Our bedroom's like empty.
Hold on. Can I get a close-up of her in the big screen?
No.
Okay. You said, where's the good part? That's the good part. And let me tell you why. Now, here, listen to me. Let me tell you why. You're not crazy. You're not crazy.
Somebody said you might send me to the loony bin.
They don't have room for all of your stuff at the loony bin.
Thank you, DrPhil. I love you again now.
But so I'm not going to say you loony bin. You're not crazy, but there is a dynamic going on here that is fixable.
Is
and
it fixable?
It is fixable.
Okay, then let's fix it.
And thank you. He doesn't want a divorce. He just wants you to be findable in there.
I am findable.
No, you're a pack rat. But
I know, but our family room is fine.
We've
bedroom
worked
is
on this for
fine.
5 or 6 or 7 years on getting it better.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, you hadn't been here for 5 or 6 or 7 years.
Correct.
but we're going to get it better. Take a look at this house where all the rooms are filled with junk. Yeah, well, my guest Kelli says this just isn't junk at all. It's her collection of useful and valuable things, such as ceramic shoes, baby clothes, receipts from 16 years ago, unopened, expired boxes of cereal, empty plastic water bottles, torn underwear, and get this, plastic bags filled with plastic bags. Kelli says she has so many precious items that her 14-year-old son has been forced to sleep on the couch since he was 5. So she can use his bedroom to store everything they need. Now, Kelli opened her doors to our crew to show me the inside of her home. It was the first time she has ever allowed strangers into her house. Take a look.
Hi, DrPhil. Welcome to my hoarding nightmare. No one's been to my house in 14 years. I'm giving you a peek into my hoarding mess. Here we go. This room back here is what used to be my son's toy room and playroom, as well as to the left is the desk where he used to do his schoolwork. But because you touch one thing, or sometimes things just end up falling by themselves, I used to think there was a method to my madness. This is our kitchen. The cabinets are so full of stuff that even the clutter has spilled over to the countertops. I have stuff up there that's 5+ years old. I don't like wasting things. I feel like there's a lot of things in this house. There's a new pot and pan set that I bought. I bought this at least a year ago, and it's still sitting here. This bike I bought for my son about 1.5 years ago, and it's still here. He hasn't been able to ride it yet. This is our computer room, and you can't even get into the room. It's behind the door. I'm not even sure everything that's in there. The floor in the hallway is covered with stuff, and the door jams all the way back to the hallway. And even this closet right here, as you can see, stuff falls down, falls out of it. I'm always afraid to open it because I don't know what's going to come tumbling down on me. Some stuff has been here for as long as we've been here. We moved into this house in '97, so who knows what's way back in the back of this closet. I'm not even really sure.
Okay, now, get this. Kelli and Richard are here together today. Now, they were married once before, but Kelli's hoarding tore them apart. Now, 12 years later, after Kelli promised to dump all the junk, they're set to walk down the aisle again. Now, I've always said, once you get out, stay out. But they're set to do this again. Slow learners or big love? I don't know. But Richard says nothing has changed. He's given her one final ultimatum. Either get rid of your junk or me. Take a look.
Kelli has a very terrible hoarding problem that's been going on for many years now. I'm very tired of her choosing her stuff over her quality of life. I don't know why she thinks these things are so important to her. Plus, you got bags and bags and bags of hangers.
Those hangers don't work.
Then why are they still here? When I walk in the house, there's lots of things in the walkway. Clothes that she buys, she has no idea where they are. They just get misplaced. There's hundreds of pairs of shoes in here. My son does not have a place to sleep. He has to sleep with one of us or sleep on the couch. It's horrible for him. That's the thing that upsets me the most. I would take my son with me if I walked.
Well, the good news is Kelli admits her obsession is out of control, but can she stop collecting her beloved knickknacks before they literally push her family out the door? Okay, I know what's wrong with you.
I'm a hoarder.
I'll get to that in a minute. What I don't understand is what's wrong with you. You got a divorce 12 years ago.
Right.
2 years later, you moved back in.
That's correct.
Okay, you've been back in now for 9 years.
Correct.
And it's gotten worse.
Absolutely.
And now you want to fill out the paperwork and get remarried. Do you want half her stuff?
No.
What the hell's the matter with you?
I love her very much. I love my son. I'm not the type of person that's just going to leave my son.
Okay, but you want to fix this.
I want to fix this. I want to fix this situation.
Okay, and when did you get a divorce?
2004.
You know what's going to make you sick to your stomach?
What?
This is fixable, and it was just as fixable in 04 as it is in 2016. Well, Kelli and Richard's son Josh says he's never known what a regular house was like until he had a sleepover at a friend's house. Now, he cannot wait until he is 18 so he can move out.
The hardest part of this house is just not having my own space. It's horrible. It's a nightmare here. I can't sleep in my own bed. I don't have my own room to play video games. I have to either do homework on my lap or on a TV tray in the living room. The counter is filled with tons of stuff. We have plastic bottles. I need to clear off a space on the counter just to make my own lunch.
Hey, I'm glad you're here. How do you feel about your house compared to friends' houses?
And there's a major difference.
See, we don't think about it, but you grew up in this. Mm-hmm. So you never knew any difference, right?
No.
So when you walked into somebody's house, you had to go, whoa. It was like being in the desert, right?
Yeah.
It was like wide open spaces. What did you think?
It was so different. Didn't know what to think.
Yeah. So where do you sleep?
I either sleep in our bedroom with my dad or on the couch.
Why do you think she does this?
Because she buys stuff and hopes that we'll be able to use it, or it'll just become handy at some point in time.
Yeah, and what do you think? Do you think it has value?
No.
There's some good news here. You don't have to wait till you're 18, because this is going to change now. Yeah. I've kind of made light of it because, frankly, I find sometimes if we can kind of laugh at ourselves, sometimes we're not quite as defensive about it.
Right.
So I'm really, frankly, trying to manipulate you by disarming you a little bit.
Okay.
Because I feel if I can kind of get you to yuck it up, you're not going to take it so hard when I absolutely rip this out from under you. I could have a truck backing up to your house
And
right
I don't
now.
want that. That would be devastating to me.
I could have a truck backing up there right now with a crew of 6, and they could be in there shoveling that stuff out as we speak.
I wouldn't be happy.
But it would be clean.
Well, the stuff would be gone. But
And then this would all be over, right?
well,
Wrong.
there's stuff I still want, and I want to know why I do what I do.
I don't have a truck with 6 men.
Thank God.
Okay. But I'm going to expect you to do it when I answer your questions as to why you're doing it.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that because that would be a violation, and it's not about the stuff. You need to understand why you're hanging on to this stuff.
Right.
You know, there's another name for hoarding. It's called disposophobia. You have a fear of disposing of stuff. And phobias are anxiety-driven. So what we have to do is get you to where you're desensitized to this and you have a new way to control your anxiety. You have a new way to decrease all of that inside where you say, I don't need that anymore. I used to need that, but now I don't need that. I have another way of doing that. That stuff is just irritating. I now have a way of controlling my anxiety. I now have new tools, systematic desensitization, relaxation techniques, all sorts of ways for you to deplete yourself of anxiety emotionally, physiologically, neurologically. And those things are very doable. Our story begins in November 2019 when Laurie, for reasons I don't understand, moved back into her father John's home. Now, Laurie expected this to be a temporary living situation, but then when the pandemic lockdowns began in March, she lost her full-time job and has been stuck with her father ever since. With so many people losing their jobs right now, it's become commonplace for young adults to move back in with their parents. But just imagine if the home you were moving into looked like this. Overrun with 40 years worth of purchases, possessions, and what most people would just call plain junk. Let's just meet the cast of characters. First, there's Laurie. Now, she's a sharp-tongued, tattooed 22-year-old and a recent convert to Islam. She also admits she is one step away from being a hoarder herself. Then there's Dad, John. Now, John is in denial and believes he has only a very mild case of hoarding, despite the house being in shambles and having a serious case of bed bugs. Yeah, I said bed bugs. And they're not just in the bed. When she showers, she finds bed bugs in her towel. And you know, by the way, there are also 7 dogs and 2 cats. Now, you would think that that would mean that their litter box would be pretty full, but not true, because the dogs and cats use the entire house as their litter box and yard. And that's not all, there's also Billy. So who is Billy, you ask? Well, Billy is Laurie's ex-fiance, who John moved into his house 3 years ago. It's no wonder Laurie says she's at her breaking point, claiming she'd rather be homeless than live there another minute. Well, then why isn't she?
It is a total nightmare living with my dad because he's a disgusting hoarder. It's like my own personal hell.
There's a desk under there. You just can't see it. That's my old dresser. I have a picture of me as a baby, like curled up in one of the drawers.
So my bedroom, I can't even use. There's maybe 2 or 3 dressers in here. I can't even get into them. So my clothes are all over the place because I have nowhere to put them.
There's another desk here I can't use. Everything back here is junk. TV doesn't even work.
You go downstairs in the living room. You can use all the furniture except for the couch. The front room is the organized part of the mess, and the kitchen is a disaster area. The house I grew up in just keeps getting filled up with more and more junk. My dad likes to go to yard sales and like buy stuff that looks interesting or he thinks has some sort of value.
These puzzles at one time were stacked nice. Old stereo and old television.
My ex-fiance Billy also lives here. My dad's kept him around because he's felt sorry for him, and the kid really has nowhere else to go.
Here's the old bedroom, which is Billy's room, which was my childhood bedroom. This closet, I've never been able to use in my entire life, and it's just piled high with.
The garage itself, it'd just be a place to store junk.
A piece from an old car, one of my first cars I used to own. This was from a 1976 Ford Granada.
There's some like broken speakers, there's a sound system in there, there's a broken freezer, and there's like rotting food in there too.
So describe the smell. I've not lived in a house that is permeated by cat and dog pee and rotting food. What does that smell like?
You can imagine it's not pleasant coming in the house after a long day of work, and the first thing that hits your nose is the smell of dog feces and dog urine, and it's just like it's stuck in the walls, like the smell. It's just been stuck there for years.
You say a few weeks ago you went into your dad's room early one morning and you actually saw bugs crawling on him.
Yeah, I was waking him up for work and there were bugs crawling on him, and it was just gross.
And that's okay with him?
Somehow. I don't know. He like laughs about it, and I'm just like, I want to take a shower. Like, I want to just like scrub all my skin off. Like, that's how it makes me feel.
I have a minor hoarding problem, but most of it is clutter. Well, that's the 1969 Chevy step van. I had planned on making a karaoke vehicle out of it. My daughter, Laurie, she describes it as being full-blown hoarding. You don't have to walk over trash to get through my house. Maybe out in my garage is a little bit junky. I'm a master at repurposing. I got a toolbox, an old dead freezer back there that doesn't work anymore. But in my living quarters, we have plenty of room to move around. My dogs move around. I clean up after them on a regular basis. We ended up with bed bugs. Used to get bit up at night. The last week or so, I haven't got any bites on me. I'm constantly spraying my bed, spraying the furniture. I really cut them down. I'm happy with the results of what my treatment has been accomplishing.
These are all dead. Those are all dead.
I haven't gotten bitten at all, and everything that I've found has been dead.
That's dead.
Laurie is very messy. Now, like her bedroom, I try not to go in there because I don't want to get upset. Because she doesn't pick up after herself very much either. I had 2/3 of that room cleaned out at one time, and she's added 2 on her side. She's not any better than I am, but I think she would rather complain about my mess than do anything about helping me take care of it.
Well, you're living in cat pee and dog feces, and why is that okay with you?
It's not. When the dogs make a mess downstairs, I clean up. The cat stuff is not in my part of the house, and it didn't have that smell in the house until she came in and brought those 2 cats.
But it's your house, and you're responsible for the home. I mean, I'm just curious why you're willing to settle for this standard of living. They could come in and condemn that. This is a fire hazard. It's a health hazard.
We've lived there for 48 years, 46 years, something like that, in the same house.
John, she came in to wake you up, and there were bed bugs crawling all over you.
That freaked me out when she told me, because at first I didn't even notice the things until she said, "Dad, there's something crawling." And when I found out what there was and how they came into my house, a little upset. So I've been treating it ever since. That's disgusting to me. I don't like that at all.
But look at this. What you're saying you're treating it, that's like spitting in the ocean. Look at this. This is all over the place. You've got to clean this out from the bottom up.
Those pictures were taken like almost 3 months ago. Those videos that she took with her phone with them stuff on the couch. And I've been treating constantly ever since. And like I said the other day when I was talking to somebody, I'm not how to get any bites, and I am finding dead, and I'm cleaning them up, and I'm doing what I can until I can get rid of this mess that's in the way.
What are you spraying there?
That's bed bug killer. It kills the eggs, and it's fast acting. I didn't have any on me. Like for over a week, I didn't get a bite, number one. And I was getting bit up like crazy.
My daughter's ex-boyfriend, Billy, has been with us for almost 4 years. I think of him as a member of my family. I think of him as my adopted son.
Being around my ex, it's a little bit uncomfortable. When we do interact, it ends up turning into an argument.
Keep your nose out of my business. I'm like a mother, and I don't need you to be a mother.
Well, you got mommy issues, that's for sure.
Nobody.
Billy does have a drinking problem. He wants to get blackout drunk. This environment here at home is pretty toxic already without Billy bringing his own toxicity and baggage with him.
Billy says he actually worries for his health because he believes the mold and mildew in the home might cause a recurrence of his cancer. Then move out. Take a look.
John is in denial that there is a serious issue with this hoarding. John's house looks like a tornado went through it. John's living conditions are definitely putting my health at risk. I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma 8 years ago. The house could bring back possible health problems again.
I think that the exterior, the external world, is reflective of what's going on in this whole family dynamic, this whole paradigm here. I'd like to introduce someone to deal with this external issue, and that's Sharon McCrill. Now, she is a professional organizer and owner of the Betty Brigade. I love that, the Betty Brigade, a downsizing and clearing out company based in Ann Arbor, Michigan, that specializes in clients who have hoarding tendencies and just a really hard time letting things go. Now, Sharon's book, Downsizing, The Silver Tsunami, is a compilation of the past 18 years where she has worked with thousands of clients, helping them resolve the logistical nightmare of decluttering. And Sharon, welcome.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure to be here.
This is something that we want to do with you, not to you.
Yeah, there was a company I had called. She said the only reason why I was getting involved with this is because you're involved. She's full of it. I've been working on trying to get stuff cleaned up for the last couple of years, long before she made this call. And I understand. No, I have.
That's not how I feel. That's not how I feel.
Well, John, let me. Okay, I don't want to. Listen, I don't have time to listen to you guys bicker back and forth. I want a question answered. John, I very much respect that there are things of sentimental value, I mean, genuine sentimental value that belong to your mother and that sort of thing. And I want you to know that we respect that. We respect your right to that. What I want to know is, will you genuinely work with Sharon and her crew to take full advantage and take this opportunity to really clean this thing up?
Yes, sir. I've been wanting this done for a long time. You don't look. She tells me I'm lying. Every day I walk through this stuff, you know, and I haven't had the money financially to have anything. I want somebody to get stuff. Now I'm getting frustrated. Yes.
I don't want to create anxiety. I want to create relief. And there are places that it can be donated, if there are places that people can use it or it can recycle it. Sharon is the master at this. You know what to do with this stuff, right, Sharon?
It's true. We do know where things go, and we work with folks all the time on helping them find homes for their stuff.
This is a dysfunctional paradigm here. And I'm not saying you're all going to be fixed overnight, but we can at least put the fun back in dysfunctional. Get out of each other's way. Get out of the house. Live in a different way. Don't be there all in this situation. John is going to be making efforts to clean up his life, clean up his heart, clean up his mind, and get healthy and start working. And this is your guys' chance to hit the reset button and get a new start in your life. Take it and run with it.
Bold and the Beautiful star Tracy Melchior's ugly secret.
My mom has always been a hoarder.
But the soap star's real daytime drama?
There's actually furniture under here. There's a couch. Oh, dear God. I'm stepping in animal feces.
Is off screen.
The dogs and I live in this bed.
This is unsanitary for dogs.
I wish I could say, Mom, come live with me. I can't invite my childhood into my home.
As a child, there were times when you didn't even have a clean place to sleep.
Yeah.
That's her perspective.
There aren't versions of the truth. There's either a sanitary room or there's not. Our cameras were with her for her emotional return.
We're outside of my mom's house, and it's probably been about 8 years since I've been inside the house. The nose has a memory, I guess, because just starting to smell it as I walk in has a profound psychological effect on me.
Here, let me sweep up.
Yeah, the mask doesn't really help.
Babies.
All right, so this is the living room. There's actually furniture under here. There's a couch. This smell is pretty hard to bear right now. I just can't even describe it. Walking through is like an obstacle course. You can not even go a step without stepping on something. I take you to the grocery store. Where are you putting groceries? Oh, dear God. I don't know even what to say. I know this isn't healthy. There's several times where we can't reach her because she'll lose her phone. Well, no wonder she loses her phone. How could you find anything in here? Oh, God. I'm stepping in animal feces right now, and there's bugs all over the floor. Apparently, my mom rescued some chickens and let them live in here. I'm embarrassed. I feel somewhat guilty not doing anything sooner. Here's a movie I did, poster, randomly out here. It's always nice. She has to have these things and she won't let them go, but she doesn't treat them with any respect. It's very confusing. Everything just loses value and gets destroyed. We've tried to help her so many times, and our efforts are sabotaged or just not accepted. This is the worst I've seen her live in. I'm the one who has to pull up to this driveway and worry. She's gonna be dead in this. It's horrible.
I am appalled by the way I'm living. I have not been excited, optimistic, or had hope in a very long time. This is exactly what drowning looks like. This is it. This is above water drowning.
Well, Tracy came to me for help with her mother, who is just really days, could be hours away from eviction due to her hoarding. But Robin says that she is called to collect things and doesn't like any family members in her house because they judge her. Take a look.
When I was a kid, my mother, who hated me, called me Rob the Slob. It stuck with me. Like a gopher, I get in my hole and I gather things around me so I'm protected. If nobody's coming, nobody's gonna hurt me. It's so controlling, so overpowering, and it's so debilitating. I don't drink, never been a smoker, but apparently I'm addicted to this. I have trouble throwing garbage away. That's ridiculous. I don't smell it. I don't smell the difference from walking out or walking in. I don't smell it. If I get something that I like, I don't want to get rid of it. I mean, what is your function? None. But I'm attached. That's a Easter basket. Horse. Does he serve a purpose? Hell no. Am I attached to him? Yeah, I'm attached to him. If I go to pick up something off the floor, I fall over. Watch your step. Some of this has saved me a couple of times, or I'd be in here stuck. I've created pathways out the glass doors and out the front door. The kitchen is not usable right now. It would be usable if it was cleaned up, but I've just let it go. I haven't cared. I just haven't cared. I have a microwave and a refrigerator in the garage. Frozen food to the microwave. I nuke what I can in here. I plug it in right here. That's how I eat. The refrigerator that's in the kitchen doesn't work. I have not opened the freezer 6, 7, 8 years. Oh, stop. I have 6 dogs living with me right now and a cat. No, soldier, stay. No, soldier, you little wuss. The dogs and I live in this bed. In this house, I've had 2 horses, 3 tortoises, 2 goats. Up until recently, there were chickens in here. I never have people over. I dream about, gee, how nice it would be to have somebody for dinner, but there's no way. My grandkids haven't been in the house in about 6 or 7 years. I don't want to pass this mess on to my kids or my grandkids. The landlord has threatened me with eviction. I could be homeless any day out on the street with my grocery cart and my dogs.
What is your connection to the objects that you collect?
Well, it's not exactly a collection type of a thing. It's that from the time I was little, I wasn't allowed to have possessions. So anything you had, my mother would come in and go through your drawers and take stuff out, and you weren't allowed to have it. Everything I did was wrong. Everything I did resulted in some form of abuse, being yelled at, being smacked, being punished, be embarrassed and humiliated in front of friends. But the objects never rejected me. They never, I wasn't allowed to own myself.
But you own these things.
Well,
which you weren't allowed to before.
Correct.
But now you can.
Yeah. I trust animals more than humans. I will feed them before I feed me. The animals never, ever have turned on me. I am super sensitive to being criticized, put down. And never do you walk in the door and your dog says, "Where the hell were you? What are you wearing? You're stupid." They don't do that.
Now, Mike Bear is a very dear friend of mine, and he's a life coach. Coach Mike focuses on helping his clients break free of destructive patterns that aren't yielding the results that they want in their life. And Coach Mike spoke with Robin about what's behind the behavior that we've been talking about. Let's take a look. He paid to visit. Let's take a look.
DrPhil asked me to sit down with Robin and get to know her in her home environment. I'm going to have to wear a mask when I walk through the house for my own safety. Hello?
Hello?
Hey.
roll your eyes.
This is your family.
Well, I rescue and I adopt them out.
Do you want to just walk through and maybe we'll find a place outside?
Yeah.
There's a lot of dog homes.
When you rescue, you have to be prepared.
I'm a life coach.
Mhm.
I've been doing it for over 15 years,
Okay.
all around the world. What I'm curious about, how's it for you to accept help?
I've put up quite a few walls because in the early days, I was the target child. If my mother was alive today, I'd still be the target child.
It sounds like the past has gripped a hold of you still, choking you. And the memories then create anxiety.
Yeah, I've extreme anxiety disorder, extreme depression. I'm a mess.
If you are evicted, and so you have to go to a smaller place and it is empty and clean, and there's none of this collection there and nowhere to put things, can you be okay with that?
I've done it.
Well, that's not what I asked you.
Yeah, well, I was okay with it.
That's not what I asked you.
Okay, yeah, I can.
You can be now. Because
Yes.
people are different at different times. I'm saying, can you now?
That's the point. People are different at different times.
There you go.
That's the point. That's why I trusted you to come here, because that's exactly it.
You lived in clutter and all at the time, and you live very differently now. And that's how I want you to be able to live. You know, here is a picture of Tracy's living room versus your living room.
Mm-hmm.
And here's a picture of Tracy's dining room versus your dining room. And this isn't a foot race or a competition, but the reason I'm pointing this out is because she came through this and is living in a way that you can have people over and you can have kids in and you can this, and you can do the same thing. And wouldn't you like to have a home like this where you could feel comfortable and...
DrPhil, this is not intentional.
Right. And you said to Coach Mike when you were sitting down with him that you do have a lot of anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
You do have a lot of depression. I think as long as you're experiencing that anxiety and depression, you're going to be driven to try to cope with it in certain ways. If you had a way to alleviate that anxiety, if you had a way to alleviate that depression, if you had a new way to hit the reset button at this time that you want to change, you would do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yes.
want to be
Yes.
free of that.
I wouldn't be here if I didn't.
We have a nice apartment for 6 months that will be furnished and set up close to your husband and family, courtesy of Bridge Property Management. Now, this luxury community was custom built and features lots of amenities for your comfort, including a sparkling pool, fire pits, and a clubhouse area.
It's perfect, because what I love about that 6-month plan too is it gives it time to rebuild some trust.
Right. We'll have a therapist involved that'll continue the work that starts at on-site and go on from there. That would be my plan unless you have a better one.
Yes, I do. The better plan I have is to go along with whatever you say.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.